I'm Effie and this is What Effie Reads. I recently reorganised my bookshelves, so I've put them back into alphabetical order, and whilst I was at it I was having a look at what books I am kind of willing to prioritise. And I just thought it might be interesting to do sort of stats video that I've dubbed taking a good look at my shelf, because like obviously you can only see a small portion behind me, but this larger type of bookcase, it goes up almost to the ceiling, and I have 3 of them, and obviously I've got that smaller one in the middle. So I thought it'd be interesting to see how many books I own, how many are read, how many are unread, how many I'm likely to prioritise, and that sort of thing. So I've set out a few questions that I will pop in the description box down below if you want to use these questions to create your own take a good look at my shelf kind of thing. And without further ado, let's just get into it. The first thing I want to point out is that I've only focused on my fiction, because I feel like non-fiction I'm less likely to want to unhaul without reading, and I don't know, I feel like non-fiction kind of falls into a different character. I've also, on the non-fiction bookcase, I've also got books that are kind of like aesthetic. That's not to say that I wouldn't read them, but they're there more for like how pretty they are. In fact, I'm gonna grab one just to give an example. Okay, so the kind of books I've got on there sort of look like this, and see, that's the beautiful spine, and it doesn't really show up very well. Oh, that's because I'm right. So it's got like deckled edges, but then at the top it's like a gold sprayed edge. This is a collection of Longfellow's poetry. So oh, it's got inscriptions. See, this is what I love about used books, is they've got a little bit of history in them. So the first inscription, I believe, is someone's name, and it says May 23rd, 1904. And the second inscription says, "To my darling Gavin, August 30th, 1969, Perth, Lizzie." Which I guess makes this book over 100 years old. So they're like a little bit of history. So I haven't included them in my stats either. The other thing I haven't included in my stats is that I've got a pile of books that I've basically already decided that I'm going to unhaul. Like, I need to go through them and like put them into We Buy Books and zip it and see if I can get any money for them that way, or alternatively list them on eBay, see if I can sell them that way. So basically it's all the books behind me. If they're not on one of these 3 shelves, I haven't included them in the stats. So the first question is, how many books do you own? And apparently I own 568 books. The next question is, of the books that you own, how many books have you read? And apparently I have read 167 of those books, which means that I've got an awful lot that are unread. The next question is, how many books have you hauled this year / recently? So since the start of 2021, I think I've hauled 127 books. Oops. That's a lot. The next question is, how many of the unread books are ones you'd prioritise? And apparently it's 99 books. The next question is, How many of the read books are you likely to reread? And the answer is 109 books. The next question is, how many books did you read in the last year? Or if last year wasn't a particularly good reading year, how many books do you read on the average year? Now, I'm not going to have a look on my Storygraph to give an exact number, but I think I read about 200 books last year. So we'll go with that. The next question is, how many of the books that you read last year were physical? Okay, I am going to pause the video because this could take some time. I've had a look at how many I read last year, and it's a lot lower than I thought it would be. It was 17, which is shockingly low. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at how many I read for the first half of this year and then extrapolate from there basically. So bear with me again. Okay, so in the first 6 months of this year, I read 55 physical books. However, I have read 167 books so far this year. So let's round it down to like 40 in the first half of the year. So let's say that I read 80 physical books a year. The reason that I'm kind of being so specific is the next question is, now do the maths. If you didn't buy any more books, how long would it take to read all of your unread books? Okay, so I need to take the number of unread books divided by the number of books that I read in a year. So we've said 18 a year. Right, bear with me. Okay, so we need to do number of unread books, which is 401, divided by the number of physical books that I read in a year. So 80. Okay, so it would take me a little over 5 years to read all of my unread books. And that's assuming I didn't buy any more books. And I'm currently subscribed to 3 book subscription boxes, which means that I get 3 more books each month. A little more optimistically, if I only look at the unread books that I would prioritise, which I think I said was 99, it'll only take me a little over a year to read all of those. So I think it could be quite interesting if I kind of take a note of all the books that I've said that I will prioritise, and then at the end of 2020 I will come back to you and let you know if I've managed to read every single one of the books that I am that I've ticked that I'm willing to prioritise. But I think doing this has definitely given me a little bit of a wake-up call, and hopefully it'll be what I need to start unhauling some books. I would love to see what other people's stats are. let me know if you did not buy a single other book for like however long it would take you to read all of your unread books. How long would it take you to read them all? I'm really curious. Am I kind of average or am I doing really badly? If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, and until next time, bye!